All right, on today's edition of Neighborhood Classic Cars, I'm joined by, again, one of my close neighbors nearby us, who's only a half a mile or so down the road. I've got Cam here with me today. Cam, how you doing?
Doing great.
Well, I'm glad that you let us come over today. We're going to take a look at an iconic American classic that he owns, a 1948 Chevrolet 3100. Most people know that as the little red trucks that you see running around. You'll know it when you see it, and you'll see it later here in the video. And it's the one I think most of those little red Christmas trucks are designed after nowadays that you see everywhere. And in fact, I think we own a couple of those that we put out at Christmas time too. But he's going to tell you about his classic truck and everything. So Cam, tell us about your truck. You said you got it a couple of years ago.
I have. I've had it 2 years, and I bought it from a guy probably lives about 10 miles from here.
Okay.
And it's funny, I saw it. We pulled in his driveway. I started walking up on it, and I told myself, I'm buying this truck.
You already had that emotional attachment to it.
I knew it when I was walking up to it. It's a 5-window. It's what I've been looking for. It's something that you can work on. There's a lot of things that need to be done to it. It's not a show truck. It's nice and dependable. It runs great, and I have thoroughly enjoyed driving it and working on it.
Now, is this something you've always wanted? Was this particular truck or model?
I have been looking seriously, I'm ashamed to say, for probably 10 years.
Okay.
And maybe money, it wasn't the right time to have, enough money to do it, or the time, but I have looked and kind of got hot and cold. I would look real hard for, 6 months and kind of give up, and then I would look some more, and I just kind of stumbled upon this one. A friend of mine sent me the link. It was I guess a Facebook Marketplace ad, and I took off and went and looked at it.
All right. Now, have you owned any classics like this in the past, or is this just something you always wanted and this is your first one?
Yeah, this is my first one, really.
Okay.
I'm a car lover. I'm not crazy about a lot of the pricing on some of the cars nowadays. I've got my heart set on a Camaro. I really want a Camaro. I had a 69 when I was 16, 17 years old. It was a 305. It was not a Z28 or a SS or anything. It was just kind of a economy model, and that's what my dad could afford, and that's what he was going to help me get. Was not going to put me in a 396 race car Camaro, but I did the same thing to it. Kind of did everything you could do to try to get a little more horsepower and a little more performance, and it looked like $1 million, but it was not the fastest Camaro in town.
So you got the truck a couple years ago. It was your first one of these classic vehicles like this, and so what have you done with it in the short amount of time you've had with it? What are some of the highlights?
Well, I put all new weather stripping on it, inside and out, because it was all ripped out and no good, and that kind of helps with the soundproofing and obviously the water coming in. And I did put, it's a Kill Mat product that I put on the floorboards and in the headliner and back behind the cab and up in the hood of the truck, that kind of takes a little of the sound deadening.
Sound deadening.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Did you notice a big difference when you did that?
I did. It rattled and shook and just made all kinds of noise, and that has really, really helped. Just very clean and a nice smooth ride now.
Good. Well, we were looking at the truck, and again, we'll show you some pictures of it, but you'd also done some of that work on the bed of the truck too. So,
right. Yeah. I did not have a bed in it when I bought it. Did not have any strips, nothing. So I did put a cherry wood bed in it, which I stained it natural, didn't put any color on it. And I bought some stainless steel bed strips, and that was a project to do. There's a lot of bolts, and it took me forever, and I did it over and over and over again. I would lay them in and measure it, and lay them in and measure it, take them out, put them back in, drill a hole, take them back out, put them in, which I'm retired. I didn't have anybody watching over me, no supervisor. So I took my time and got it the way I wanted it, and it turned out nice.
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice. And as you said, your neighbor said that was the best looking part of the
Yeah,
truck, right?
he didn't want to offend me. I laughed and so now you're fine. You're right. It's probably the prettiest part.
It's the newest part, but I don't know. I kind of favor the patina myself. Really nice. So I see you running in and out of the neighborhood. You said you like to take it on rides and stuff like that. Do you go to any of the local car shows with it or anything?
I have not been to a car show yet. I've kind of been itching to. I'll go to a car show in my other cars, but I have not set up my truck and get my chair out and done that yet, which I really, really want to. It's been miserably hot here, and that's kind of deterred me a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that someday. I'd like to have a couple of buddies probably.
Yeah.
You know, would be fun to back in next to and sit and do that, which they're out there. I have met some other truck guys, but no, I have not done that yet, but I want to.
All right, good deal. Well, tell us some of the things that if you could get the top 5 things done to the truck, what is it you want to try to do?
My next project right now is probably the glass. I have bought an all new glass. It's got some cracked glass, some smoky glass, some milky glass, and I'd like to look out and see the world through clear glass.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I've done. I do have a buddy that used to work at Nissan putting glass in, and he promised to help me. Maybe he'll watch this and he'll come over and give me some help, but that's what he did.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, maybe I can just sit back and watch him do it.
Yeah, and you'll learn something from that too, won't you?
And I'm wanting to change the gears in the rear end. I don't know if I need to get a new axle. I know you can kind of take those gears out and put them back in to where it will go a little faster.
Yeah.
That's kind of what has hung me up with really enjoying it and getting it, you know, 65 miles an hour, you know, maybe interstate speed, or at least the, you know, the roads next to the interstate.
Right.
But it is very tight, and the RPMs just really get up when you get it around 50 miles an hour or so. But that's the way the roads were back then.
Yeah, like you said, if you were doing 50, you were speeding, right?
You're booking.
Okay. All right. So do you have any road trips planned with this truck when you get it the way that you want?
I do have there's car shows further away than I am that I can't go to, you know, because of that. I've got friends that I want to visit and show the truck to that are, you know, 40, 50 miles away that I really don't feel comfortable, you know, taking off that and doing that. But all in time, I guess.
What about comfort-wise? You want to do anything to it, like retro air conditioning or anything like that?
I have seen those, about $1,000, $1,200 for one of those. I'm kind of balking at that.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. A lot of the guys will put the S10 frames on them. You know, they'll buy an S10 frame. It's got all the power steering, power brakes, and a lot of the modern things. And that one has the original frame on it, and you know, kind of limits you to what you can do. But like I said, I think I'm going to probably keep it that way. And then if I, you know, want another truck or see something that's a little nicer, you know, I could, you know, pull the trigger on that and maybe start a collection.
Hey, you never have enough, as my son would say.
I have passed on 2 or 3 that I have found since I've found that one.
Of course,
and I'm sitting there going, boy, what would the wife say if I brought that home?
You just got to convince her it's a parts truck.
I'm selling it to make a profit.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to work on it a little bit, and then I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to make like $10,000.
You might. I mean, as crazy as prices continue to go up.
She'll buy that for sure.
Well, we won't tell her, right? Just this video. Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. How about we kind of take this thing out a little bit and get it out of its location back there, and maybe take it for a little spin?
Let's do it.
All right. All righty. So we are looking here at Cam's 1948 Chevrolet 3100. Alrighty. Tell us some of the more interesting things that you've done with it.
Well, I've got 2 mirrors here I've put on. You can see.
Okay.
New handles. New latches. All new weather stripping, inside and out.
Very nice. Redone the door panels, or did they come that way when you had it?
It was like that when I got it.
Seat looks like it's in great condition.
I
Same
redid
thing.
the seat, took it to a guy, and the seat was in good shape. It just didn't have any padding. So he took it all apart and put all new padding in it. Didn't have a bed in it when I bought it. I put that bed in. Another guy cut the wood for me. It's cherry.
Very nice.
And I stained it.
Okay.
Got stainless steel bed strips there I put in it.
So you stained it and put the finish on it. Did you
Right.
put the wood in too yourself?
I sure did. Took a while.
Mm-hmm.
Almost lost my patience a few times, but
What did you learn? Not that you don't want to do it again, right?
well, I could probably do it a lot better and a lot faster the second time, but it was kind of a pain. And the guy back behind me helped me cut the notches in it. He had a table saw and he put the notches in to where those bed rails lay down.
Okay, so it's kind of like a tongue and groove sort of thing?
Right, it does. There's little notches and it just kind of drops in there and you kind of tighten them up.
Nice. All right. Well, that looks really good. Looks really good. How long do you think it took you to do that on your own?
Oh my gosh. Probably a solid week of work. I put it in, took it out, put it in, took it out. Wasn't right. Did it over. Drilled some holes wrong, filled them up, did it again. So yeah, I didn't have a timetable. I'm retired.
There you go. Every day is a Saturday, right?
Exactly.
Well, what was the key to getting it in there ultimately? 'Cause it
Well, I
looks
did
really
do
good.
some research about the sizes,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a standard pattern that the wood is, and I wanted it to look a little bit different. So I sized the boards, a certain way, and put less strips in and more wood showing. So I did kind of customize it to, a couple of pictures, kind of stole some ideas off some other guys. Let's see, what else? I've got a long list of things that I still want to do, but
What's next on the list? If you had to.
I've got new glass.
Okay.
As you can see there, it's all kind of, they put them together in two pieces and
Mm-hmm.
glued it in some way back in the 40s. And that's, I think, the original piece of glass.
Is that some of the glue, or is that just the
Yeah,
glass
I think that's a little of the
delaminating?
resin or whatever they use to put it
Okay.
together. That's what I've been told, but
Yeah.
I do have the glass. I have not gotten to it yet.
All right.
But I got the gas tank working. That wasn't working when I got it. So I can tell how much gas I have now. I still don't have the speedometer working. The odometer's working,
Okay.
but the speedometer's not working because the needle has deteriorated. There's no needle in there. And to
Gotcha.
get that apart, you have to, I can't get under there. I'm tall, I'm an old man, and I've
Mhm.
tried a couple times to pull that out and work on it, but I cannot get to it. I'm gonna pop this hood for you.
Yeah, let's look at the engine and see what's getting this thing down the road. Ah, still got the original?
No, it is a replacement engine,
Okay.
and from all the research I've done, it's a 1955
Okay.
235 cubic inch,
Mhm.
about 145 horsepower.
Okay.
And it's got the two single carburetors on it. Had those on it when I got it. I did put those little air filters on there. I saw those in a magazine or a eBay item or something. I had to have those.
Yeah, that's a nice touch on there.
So I have cleaned it, not just super detailed, but I, polished that manifold there and have cleaned a lot of nasty paint out of it.
Well, it looks really good. I mean,
It was
certainly, to that era of 47 to 55
Yeah,
on
I've
these
tried to
trucks.
keep it original. That's kind of my goal. I'm not trying to fancy it up or do a lot of other crazy things to it, but this was
Mhm.
all kind of black, and I had some goof off, and I rubbed and got all that black off and got back to the burgundy.
That's good. That's amazing. So it was all under there. What kind of black was it? Was it like a...
It just somebody had painted that firewall a black, and it
Okay.
took me a lot of hours to rub that off. And I changed that rubber stripping there. That's new, kind of more stuff that keeps, you know, the water from coming down in the engine.
You can see how deep red and sort of maroon looking the
Yeah, I
original
think
paint was.
that's the original color of this truck. I think the burgundy on the outside has been resprayed and redone, but I think
It's
that
interesting.
engine,
Did they paint it sort of some blue at one time, or is that a little
I
overspray?
noticed that too, and I thought, man, this is a blue truck.
Yeah.
But there is not one speck of blue on there besides this.
You think maybe this is a replacement fender?
Could be,
Okay.
could be. It's got a lot of Bondo on it.
Yeah.
But when you take these handles off, back behind that little piece there,
Sure.
it's got a beautiful piece of burgundy.
Well, and if you've taken the paint down to the original on the firewall, and that's what you see,
Yeah,
then that's clearly got to be the
pretty sure
color of
it's
the truck.
I'm
Huh?
not sure what the burgundy name is, but
Oh, those classic old Tennessee license plates like that.
yeah, I found that on eBay. I bought a new grill for it. It was all smashed in, and the bumper was smashed in. I've got some pictures I can
All right.
maybe show you. But I found that up in Kentucky. So I just got in the car one day and drove all the way to Kentucky, and the guy had a lot of truck parts, and I bought that. It was a pain to get it on there because the truck has been wrecked. It's been pretty good lick hit on it right there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
But did get it on. It's not perfect by any means.
Well, but it, you know, that's what makes it a neighborhood classic, right?
Exactly.
And you're working on it, and every time you do something, it feels a little more like your truck, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've done pretty much all of it myself. I will watch the videos like everybody else does and kind of get an idea. But I took the headlights all out, cleaned those up, resprayed inside there, and primed them. And
So did you find, other than obviously you said there was some damage and stuff like that, and this fender has some Bondo taken off of it, although that kind of gives it a nice little kind of patina look.
It is so weird. It is so thick, and I don't know what.
Did you find any other like serious rust on it? I noticed on your running board over there is a little bit, but overall it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, these cab corners are notorious.
Oh yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be a Chevrolet if it didn't have
Yeah,
that.
you can put your hand up in there.
No matter what generation, my son's 86, we've had to replace the cab corners.
But this mat that I've got in there, I did cut a piece of steel and kind of screwed that down and got it all a little more solid under that floorboard.
So, what's the horsepower like on it? You feel like it's got enough? I know a lot of these guys will, you know, LS swap them or V8 swap them.
You're exactly right.
Like
I've got a nephew that's got an LS in one, and it's got plenty of horsepower. That's not the problem. It's the gear ratio that's the problem.
Okay, what's it got?
Because back in '48, there was no interstates. It was all dirt roads and country roads, and if you were going 45 or 50 miles an hour, you were flying. So
that's true. Yep. 3-speed, 4-speed?
3-speed on the column.
Yeah.
But it's just real tight. When it gets up about 40, 45 miles an hour, it's just really wound up tight. Exactly. And a lot of guys will change that gear to where it'll go 65 or 70 miles an hour. And I've done a little research on that and still do not have a plan, but I'm getting there.
What kind of gear do you think it has in it?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a 410, 411.
Okay. So good if you're going to take it to the strip, but not good for the highway, right?
Yeah, it's got, I mean, like first gear, you stay in it for, 5 seconds.
Gotcha.
It's just got a real super low end, but it is what it is, and I love driving it. And
well, every time I see you go by, I'm jealous because it sounds good and looks good going down the road.
I do. I have some country roads, off Bradyville that I will take off down and wave to everybody and hit the Ooga horn, and everybody loves it. Like I said, I don't know what it is about this body style, this era. I like all the Chevy trucks. I like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, but for some reason this style here has just kind of won me over, and I look for one for, quite a while.
Well, this is the one that everybody's kind of made the red Christmas pickup trucks out of, right?
Exactly. You see a ton of little figurines of this truck doing everything on, kitchen towels, and you just name it.
Right.
But, I get all the questions, people, you're going to put a big engine in it? I said, no, I'm not going to put a big engine in it. You're going to paint it, aren't you? Nah, I don't think I'm going to paint it.
Well, things change, and you never know. You might change your mind, but I like the patina on it myself. It just has that
exactly
old truck look to it rather than restored truck look.
That's what I told my wife several times, that if I want a show truck or something that's a lot prettier and a lot fancier and has air conditioning and just dolled out, I'll go get one.
What does your wife think of it? Does she like to go for a ride?
She's not real crazy about it. I can tell you a quick story why. When I first got it, had it for a couple of weeks, I said, let's go for a ride. So we hop in it and take off. We're down there close to your house, making a turn right there on Nick Jack, and the door flies open. She's got the dog in her lap.
Oh no.
And then we weren't going fast,
right,
but it scared her. It startled her. So she's like, "You going to get some seat belts for this truck?" I said, "Well, I don't have any. I still don't have any." But didn't get off to a good start. But she has ridden with me some, and she likes it, but she does just kind of turn me loose.
Yep.
But I will come out here and piddle, and she will, read her books and do her thing. And like I said, it's really kept me busy. It's, something that I've enjoyed working on. I still enjoy working on it.
Well, it sure looks good sitting back here in the shade. I know when my wife and I have walked in the neighborhood here and everything, I'm always looking, because that's what I spot, or vehicles sitting here or there and everything. And I saw this sitting back there, I'm like, ooh, that looks nice back there.
Yeah.
And then I saw you driving, and I'm like, okay, so it's not just sitting around, he's actually driving it and stuff. Very nice. Absolutely.
And it's funny, when I go on my ride, I'll go in the evening when it cools off some. But I'll go 20, 25 miles all down country roads, and just gawking around at all the beautiful farms and all the, Tennessee hillsides. But there is 3 of these trucks that I have seen backed up next to their barns or in their garages, and they're working on them. So there's 3 more guys, within 20 miles of here that are working on these kind of trucks too.
It's funny when you have something like that, or you spot something like that, or you're interested, you see more of it, right?
Yeah.
No
But
doubt.
that's what I do when I go on my rides in the evening. I'll just go real slow, and I will just be looking at everything.
All right, so you were telling me that you had a little incident with your truck there not long after you got it. You had a brake failure? Tell me about that.
Yeah, one of the second reason why my wife really doesn't like the truck. We went for a ride one evening, and we were pulling out of the neighborhood, and we came up on the first stop sign, and I put my foot on the brake, and boom, no brakes. 0, nothing.
Oh, then what?
So I blew a brake line, and these old trucks have a master cylinder, a single master cylinder, so when the brakes go out, it's not just the front, or it's not just the back, it's both, it's all. So you can convert it to a dual master brake system, which I need to. But
so were you able to stop safely, or what happened next?
We did not make the stop.
Oh no.
Ran through the stop sign, had to make a turn to the right, and we went on down the street. And there's 2 cul-de-sacs, and I think I passed the first cul-de-sac because I couldn't make the turn. I was going too fast. It was downhill. And I did turn on the second street to the right and went around and got into the middle and deep into the cul-de-sac and realized I was going to take this guy's mailbox out.
Oh.
I could not get the turn sharp enough to get away from his mailbox. So instead of hitting his mailbox, I just turned and went down his driveway.
And kept on going.
In through his backyard, past his barn, and right up next to his fence at the end of his property line. And it did stop finally.
The fence is what stopped it.
And thank goodness there was nobody home. And I very embarrassingly backed out and came back home. And I did get back home. We came back home about 1 mile an hour so I could try to keep it under control and get it in the driveway without any brakes. But like I said, my wife was not happy, scared, wondering why I brought this truck. And
what did she say to you? Anything in specific?
I'm not going to go on any more rides with you. So she doesn't have any confidence in my truck.
Has she ridden in it since then?
Yes, she has.
Oh, okay.
And
All
it
right.
is a lot more dependable.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I'm kind of learning as I go.
There you go. Now, you had mentioned you'd replace the grill and things on the front end. Is that because of that incident, or
No, it didn't wreck it. I just
Okay.
bounced down his driveway into his yard and just kept slowing down, and got right to the end of his
Okay.
property line, and the truck finally stopped.
just like a little bump into a pillow or
Yeah.
something? Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, that's good.
no
That's
fun.
good.
I think that's the first time I've ever not had any brakes in any vehicle in my life. So
That's a life-changing experience right there.
it was exciting.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that one with us. Because you haven't had any more since then, have you?
No, I think everything's been good. I do have that fear in the back of my mind that, I'm going on a 20-mile, 30-mile ride, and
Mm-hmm.
am I going to break down today?
Yeah.
Is something going to happen? But
That won't
far, so
happen.
good.
That won't happen on our ride today, will it?
No. I guarantee it.
Oh, you guarantee it. Okay, folks. Well, we'll find out. right. Well, we certainly had a good time talking to Cam about his 1948 Chevrolet 3100. We went on a ride. Hopefully you got to enjoy some of that and some of the music we're going to put along to it. And really appreciate you taking time with us, Cam, to show us your truck and share it with us and help us to get to know your neighborhood classic a lot better.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Earl. I enjoyed showing it to you.
Absolutely.
And I love driving it too.
Oh, I could tell. I could tell. You're just starting to have fun with that truck, no doubt about it. So maybe we'll check in with Cam in the future and see when he's made some other upgrades or things that he's wanted to do to it. Or we might run into him in a local car show. You never know. But we will be certain to stop by and chat with him on and off and see how he's doing with his truck and enjoying it. And maybe he'll have that 69 Camaro too. Don't tell his wife. Don't tell his wife.
Oh, yeah.
He might have that too.
You'll all know about that.
And if he does, we'll have it right here on Neighborhood Classic Cars. See you at the next episode. And if you like what you saw today, hit subscribe, the notification bell, and hit the like button, and we'll check you out on the next video. Have a great day. Oh.